All my career life as a judge was full of challenge. People might be aware of the case of Sia because of his prominence in the political life of our country. Of course, he was the second person in the governing party, EPRDF. But even before that, I handled so many cases which had some kind of correlation with political activities and everything. So during when I tried to handle all those cases according to the book and to the constitutional principles, I had challenge. I was under pressure from my boss, and even a couple of times there were disciplinary cases instituted against me just for implementing the law and the spirit of the law as it is. So to come to CA's case, there was a split within the governing party. It was in the news. I was aware of it. And that split got its end by, the Prime Minister got the upper hand at the end of the process, I think. But, in a way, the Prime Minister and his supporters and colleagues didn't want to leave the other group, to live a free life. So a lot of corruption cases were instituted before the courts. And, the major case was the case of CA and his family members. It was, in a way, funny, like 6 members of the family were imprisoned at the same time. For me, those cases, of course, I knew the political sensitivity. I knew the expectation of the government. I knew what I would do would have a serious consequence about my professional career and my future in the institutions. But, I couldn't have done it different, I didn't have any choice other than entertaining it as any other ordinary case. That's what's expected from a judge, So I tried to look into the facts collected by the police and the prosecution office. It's in a way embarrassing. This is a government which introduced a constitutional way of organizing government and constitutional principles to our political community. So as a preacher of those principles, as a preacher of independence of judiciary, that was not something which should be expected from that kind of regime. But, it didn't go that way. And so repeatedly we tried, my bench tried to implement the release warrant, but it didn't happen. Finally, the arrested guy, Sia Abraha, was supposed to appear before the court, and we explicitly told the officer that they don't have any right to keep him under custody from that time on. Actually, we released them before the court, before the bench, right then and right there and there. And but after some minutes, I finished my work, and I wanted to go out for lunch. It was in a way dramatic. The Sia Abraha was trying to get into his wife's car. Of course, he is told by a court of law, by the institution of the country, that he is free. So he was trying to exercise that right of freedom. And the police guards were almost trying to shoot at the tires of the car. And, it looks like a battlefield, not a courtyard. For me, that was a very frustrating and devastating experience, That was not the thing I expected, If they wanted him to arrest him again, they could have implement other methods which might have some semblance of legality or, some semblance of technical process or something. They couldn't defy the law like that, and as if it doesn't matter whatever the court of law says or whatever those institutions says. What matters is the rule of the political party, or the rule of the prime minister. If that is the case, why did they brought him before the court of law from the very start? They could have put him, in some corner of the country for long, had it not been for the laws. If it is the case to be handled by the laws, they should show some kind of respect. It was disrespect, and it was more than that. So that was how it went, and in a way that was a defining moment for me.